Hello once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. Welcome to another video. We got another model kit to check out, another project, and I wasn't really going to get this one, but I had seen it on eBay, and I thought it was a pretty cool looking ship. We're going to do Star Trek, but we're going to shift gears. This is going to be going to Star Trek Discovery. And the model kit I want to show you is the U.S.S. SHENZOUH. Now, I don't really know a lot about this ship. I don't really know a whole lot about the series. I don't really watch it that much. There are a couple of cool things, like I like Mr. Saru, and I like the helmsman. I can't remember her name. I like her. But when I had seen this model, I think they had wanted like $15. And you know when you like, it says best offer, you never know. So you just throw offers out there and sometimes you get lucky, and I put $5 and they actually accepted it, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool, you know. I mean, this thing is pretty wild. The SHENZOUH kind of reminds me of like a warped version of the U.S.S. Reliant. I wonder if that's where they got the motivation for the design ideas for it. But this is the U.S.S. SHENZOUH NCC-1227, and this is from Star Trek Discovery, and it's a pretty cool looking ship. This is from Polar Lights, and supposedly it's a snap together kit, but you know, we're gonna glue it as we do with all of them. And of course, I mean, come on, man, those of you that know me by now, I mean, we're gonna light this. This is gonna look really cool, and it's gonna be fun to light. Matter of fact, depending how big it is, I already have a few ideas on how to put the blinking lights in. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's see if it shows you some information. You can see the side of the box. And because it's got the plastic wrap on, we'll go into some more details at the desk. Yeah, because there'll be more light. So we'll go over it better. Let's see, this is Polar Lights POL. I was at 967M/12, and this is a snap together model kit, and it shows you the decals. I think it's really cool that it appears to be coming with the Aztec decals, so that's going to be a plus. Includes everything shown here, and of course it's got the base. So let's see, this is in, I want to say 1/2500 scale. Yep, 1/2500 scale. So this is not going to be very large. But we got the sides and the ends of the box. Let's take a look at the back real quick. And this is where we hopefully get some information on the ship. We got the full color paint guide, and I usually put that on the inside of the box. Molded in the color. It's got 26 parts and it's 6.5 inches long, so this is not large at all by any standards. I was hoping that they would give a little bit of information about the SHENZOUH, because I don't really know a lot about this class of ship, or this ship, period. But let's take it over to the desk, and where there's more light and there's more room, and we won't have to worry about knocking over the Klingon battle cruiser. So let's take it over to the desk, and I'll show you everything that's in this kit. Alright, that's better. We got a lot more light. You can check it out. And you see how it's a lot brighter. Yep, but I don't see. Contains all the plastic pieces to complete the model. Decal sheet and pictorial instructions describing assembly. It's 6.5 inches long. Again, it's not going to be big, but there's no information on the SHENZOUH. So why don't we go ahead? Let's open it up. Let's see. There's something so satisfying about taking off the plastic off of a model, especially a Star Trek model. There we are. I'll show you a nice picture of the ship. And maybe we should move this model box. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, what do we got first? Looks like we actually have the decals first. This will give us a good idea on the size of the model. All right, look at that. Hopefully the camera picks that up. NCC-1227 U.S.S. SHENZOUH. I love the Aztec decals. And I don't really know a lot about what the sections are on it. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about this ship, except that I thought it was cool looking. All right, let's go to the second one, and I'm thinking this could be for the bottom of the ship. So I'm wondering if we should paint this. Well, let's check out the plastic first, and then we'll see and compare it with the online. All right, we got the instruction sheet now, so I'll share the instructions. U.S.S. SHENZOUH NCC-1227 Star Trek Discovery 1/2500 scale snap together model kit POL 967M-12. And I wonder if they're going to give any information. Let's see. General assembly. The highly detailed kit features precision tool parts for ease of assembly. Care and patience must be exercised to achieve optimal results. The kit has been designed to assemble via snap assembly, but we're going to glue it. If modeler chooses to glue their model, it is recommended that the instructions be examined carefully before applying cement. And again, with the decals and the paint is not required. And it's in different languages. You can see the symbol key. One is the number. Circle the part number, and we got the clear part number. So let's check out this. Let's look at step one. All right. So I guess the ship is in two major halves, and that looks like those could be the impulse engines, and we have the section that's going to go in front of the deflector dish, or am I thinking of, yeah, I'm thinking of Captain Archer's Enterprise. I don't know if there's a deflector dish there or not. You can see the bridge, and interestingly, the bridge is on the bottom of this ship, which is pretty odd, but that's how it was made. So we've got the two halves. We don't really have a lot of pieces. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Gently lay the clear parts into the upper saucer part, then carefully lay the lower saucer part on top and align the pins. Be sure the clear parts stay in place. Start pinching the pins together, starting from the front, and work your way to the back until the two halves are secured. Let me go on to step 2. And you can see step 2 is the fins, the cooling fins. I don't know if those are coolers, like on the nacelles. And I don't really know what that is. That goes into the front of the ship. So it's not an overly complicated kit, that's for sure. So we're on to step 3. We've got, I'm thinking that those could be the nacelle pylons. And step 4, I think that's the bottom, yeah. You guys remember how the Reliant had that section that connected to the pylons that went down to the nacelles that was on the top back part of the ship that had the photon torpedoes? I'm not saying that this is the same function, but that's what it reminds me of. On to step 5. You can see we're putting the pieces together. And this is the bottom of the ship. And we're already on to step 6. And it looks like the nacelles. You can see these are clear parts, so that'll be fun to light up. And we got part 7 where we're putting the nacelles onto the main section. And looks like 8 is the final assembly where we put it onto the base. And you can see it's got the little ball and socket base where you can tilt it and angle it. And that's it. That's the instructions. I like how they do the background. United Federation of Planets. They did the same thing on that section, the instructions. That's pretty cool. But this is a very simple kit, very easy to put together. There should be no issues at all. Now we got to look at the size to see how it's going to be for lighting. Let's take a look at the clear parts. So I'm thinking that these are the impulse engines. And we have the bridge. It's going to go on the underside of the ship. I think this round piece is going to go in the front, somewhere around there. And I'm not sure what these are. Oh, those are just parts of the tree, so that comes off. And we use this section right here. And we got the nacelles. I'm thinking would be the chiller grills on the insides of the nacelles. So that's pretty cool. It's always fun to see the clear parts, and then so I can start the gears rolling in my head on how to light it. So let's take a look at the actual ship trees. Up. I'll show you this first. This is actually the base. And that would be 2019. And we've got the little ball at the end. It's going to go on to the base. And we have the little section so you can angle the ship in different poses. So that is the base. So let's take a look at the actual tree. And again, this isn't very large. The ship, I tried to look up actual views of the ship in Star Trek Discovery. I didn't find a ton of video on it. But I did see enough where you see there's like a certain reflection on the ship. When the light hits it, the light bounces off right away. And that's something that we don't really get from the plastic. So I'm thinking if we go ahead and give it a spritz, let me show you guys what I use. See, I love the Rust-Oleum, the metallic finish. This is what I usually put on the inside to reflect the light. But I'm thinking if we put it on the inside and the outside, what we can actually do is we can actually put it on both sides. The light will be blocked, and we can only have it coming through where we want. Plus, it'll have like a nice reflective surface. I mean, the paint does not actually look like this. Let me see if I got something to show you guys. Oh yeah. We're doing the Enterprise, the reissue of the long box in 1/650 scale. And see how the reflection, now I only put one white coat in here. But I don't know, maybe if we put several, it would eventually look like that, but we don't really need it to look like this. Even if it looked like this on the outside, and we had the Aztecing decals where we could put it a certain way and there would be a reflection. That's kind of the effect that I want to go with. So let's put this back. Incidentally, we're working on the nacelles for her. Let me show you guys. I just did the Bussard collectors, and they called for the metallic red, but I didn't have it, so I ended up using the testers. And this is the pearl red from the Aztec, and look at how nice this came out. Because we're not able to light these, so we're going to make it where I'm going to have the antennas coming out of the Bussard collectors. But I love the shine with the little metallic specks. Hopefully the camera is going to pick this up. But anyway, we're off subject, so let's put that back. That's for another video. So I think what we're going to do with this model is we're going to use the reflective metallic finish. Because I love and you guys follow my channel, you know that I just love the Rust-Oleum. So I think that's what we're going to do. The first thing we'll do is we'll do the painting, because we can do the inside as well as the outside. So I think this would be the bottom of the ship, because that's where the bridge area would be. And let me show you guys. Now the lights that we're going to use, we're not going to be using a spotlight, but we will be using lights inside, and see how you can kind of see it going through. I don't really want a lot of the bleed through like that, so what we're going to do is we're going to spray both sides. Not a ton, just enough to get it to be coated. And we're not going to be using a spotlight like that. We'll probably be using the very small little LEDs, which are still bright in their own sense, but we'll be able to get it into all the small little areas. Because think about it, we're going to have to figure out how to get the wires through the Bussard collectors in order to light the chiller grills. But this is the bottom of the ship. And luckily, these are separate pieces that are going to form the nacelle pylon, so we can run wires through there. Because if this would have been just one single piece, kind of like, see the problem we're having with the Enterprise. Again, I'm getting off topic, and I apologize. But we're doing the Enterprise as well, but we're going to do it from Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and the pylon is one piece. So the problem that we're going to have is how to run the wire through into the nacelles to light the Bussard collectors and the nacelles. So I'm going to have to figure out how we're going to channel and then put some putty on, kind of like what we did for the Enterprise D. Anyway, again, I apologize getting off topic. That's another video. But we'll be able to run the wires through this, no problem. And this is the last tree and the last part in the box. This is the top, and I'm thinking that these areas are going to be lit up. Let's see, does it show it lit? It's kind of like a violet or a purple light. But this is not a very large kit, but it's still going to be fun. The only thing I'm having an issue with is we're going to use the small little button cell. Yeah, I don't have one readily available to show you guys, but they're about that big. And they've got the 2/4 size button batteries that go in. And we're going to have to figure out how we're going to power this. Because when the parts go together, it's not going to fit in there. There's just not enough room. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to run a wire from the ship. And even if we go into the base, I don't know if there's going to be enough room. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do with this, how we're going to light it. We are going to light it, but and just to have the wires coming out, running through the base, and coming out to a power supply, I mean, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. But we'll see. We'll see as we go along, and I'll come up with a few ideas for this model build. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be the SHENZOUH. And this is NCC-1227, as seen in Star Trek Discovery. And let's see. The thing with the nacelles we're going to have to work with as well is, you can see they're going to go together, but they're going to be solid. And you can see how they're, let me show you guys how there's like an opening. See the inside? So we're going to have to light the inside in order to get the them to illuminate. And again, there's way too much light leak for that. So we're going to have to do some painting. It shouldn't be an issue because those wires are pretty small and the lights are the size of like a match head. So that should be all set in order to get into each one. So we would be lighting both of the nacelles. Actually, let me show you it on the illustration of the ship. We'll be lighting the inner parts of both of the nacelles. Let's see, we'll be lighting the front of the ship. And you can see on the bottom, we'll be lighting the bridge. And we're going to have to look for some video. Now, I'm not talking about the CGIs people made. I'm talking about the actual clips of this ship from Star Trek Discovery. I'm going to have to look for and check out to see where the lights are. I don't see any hull lighting on the, or beacon lights on the illustration. But you can see there appears to be a lot of windows. Alright, so those are the part trees. So I think the only thing left to really show you guys is where the decals go. So let's start out with this and the painting guide. So the colors that we're going to need, you're going to need the gunmetal, dark gray, the clear violet, clear red, and white. And you can see this would be the bottom of the ship, and I guess the bottom or the sensor area. What I'm thinking is the sensor dome. And you can see where all the colors and all the decals are going to go on. I guess there's a lot more decals than I thought there was. All right, let's go to the side of the end of the box, and you can see the paint guide and the color schemes and the decals. You can see it's got windows on the bottom of the front and on the bottom of the back. So take some micro drilling and we look at the top of the ship. Decal setting solution may be required to settle decals over complex surfaces, contours, and details. That is not included. Check with your hobby retailer. What I like to use is I like to use the micro saw. Let me get them both for you guys. So I like the micro saw. This allows you to place it where you want, and then when that's all done, you put on the micro set, and what that does, it actually shrink wraps the decal around the plastic, and it makes it almost look like it was painted on. So we'll be doing that. You can see the backs where the impulse engines are with a clear red. That'll be lit. And again, I don't really know a lot about this ship. So look at the other end of the box. You can see the side views and the color scheme. You can see the hull with the windows. Let's see, do we actually see the windows on this? Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna have to use some real tiny drills. The smallest micro drill, because you can see that the windows have to go along here. And to give you a size, look at the tweezers as opposed to where the window's gotta go. So these aren't windows. So we have that on the sides of the ship. And on the bottom, let's show you guys the bottom. Oh man, it's going to go along there as well. So there's going to be a lot of micro drilling going on to get windows, to get them to be seen. So we're going to paint it first and then drill. And on the back it shows you the finished model, and that's in 26 parts. So there are not a whole lot of parts. There shouldn't be a hard kit. The hardest part of this will be lighting it and running the wires through. And this was, let's see, I had said it, 2019, I believe. Yeah, 2019 release. So my friends, I welcome you to another little build series, and this one is the U.S.S. SHENZOUH. So this is going to be a fun little build. I think the first thing we'll do is we'll prep all the parts, we'll paint it, and we'll get it ready. So until the next video, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.